$60,001. That number is the entire estate tax exemption for a non-U.S. investor. Not a typo, not a threshold for the ultra-wealthy. This is the line where, at death, the IRS can seize up to 40% of your U.S. Situs assets. Not on millions, on anything above $60,000.
Let me make it real. Take an architect in Santiago, Chile. 5 years ago, she began investing. She chose SPY. She added VOO, a few shares of Apple and Berkshire, a classic global portfolio. She built it to $250,000 through a well-known brokerage. The interface showed her returns, expense ratios, dividend yield. It never showed the estate tax liability. She dies unexpectedly. Her family contacts the brokerage. The assets are frozen. The first $60,000 is exempt. The remaining $190,000 is taxable. The rate is progressive. 18% on the first $10,000, then 20%, 22%, 24%, 26%, 28%, 30%, 32%. On her excess, the total tax reaches $51,600. $51,600, over 1/5 of everything she built. Her contributions were roughly $200,000. The IRS erased 1/4 of her cumulative savings. Her family receives a demand for payment within 9 months, plus attorney fees and compliance costs. The brokerage won't release a single share until the IRS is fully paid. The architect did nothing illegal. She held the wrong tickers. Your broker knows this. They just didn't tell you. Let me be exact about what this actually costs. The mechanism is U.S. Situs property. Shares of U.S. corporations and U.S.-domiciled ETFs are deemed located in the U.S. for estate tax. SPY, VOO, Apple, all U.S. Situs. Death triggers IRS jurisdiction. The location of the asset, not the owner, determines the tax. The exemption is $60,000, set decades ago, never indexed. In 1976, $60,000 had the purchasing power of over $300,000. Today, it's a fixed floor, and it only applies if your country has an estate tax treaty with the U.S. Only 15 do: Germany, UK, Japan, Australia, and a few others. If you live in Brazil, India, UAE, Singapore, Mexico, Chile, Thailand, or anywhere outside that list, you get exactly $60,000. No deductions. A general income tax treaty does not cover estate. If your country isn't on the estate treaty list, you are on the $60,000 floor. Now, scale this up. A Malaysian entrepreneur holds $1.5 million in VOO. Taxable estate, $1.44 million. The tax bracket climbs to 40%. The total bill approaches $560,000. That's more than 1/3 of the portfolio seized. This is scheduled math. Here's what most investors never consider. Even uninvested cash sitting in a U.S. brokerage account is U.S. Situs property. The account itself is the trap, not just the tickers. The clean separation, hold assets inside a foreign corporate entity, like an Irish ETF. CSPX is an Irish public limited company. Owning it means owning foreign corporate stock, explicitly excluded from U.S. estate tax for non-resident decedents. The underlying holdings are U.S. equities, but you hold the Irish wrapper. The container, not the contents, determines the tax. This is a structural boundary. VUAA works identically. Both track the S&P 500. SPY brings heirs inside the U.S. tax system. CSPX and VUAA keep them outside. A secondary benefit, U.S. ETFs incur 30% dividend withholding. Irish UCITS ETFs, under the Ireland-U.S. Treaty, pay only 15% internally and accumulate dividends automatically. No cash distributions, no further withholding. The estate shield is primary. The dividend efficiency is a quiet tailwind. The exit door is one ticker. Open Interactive Brokers. Search CSPX, listed on London, Amsterdam, Milan, USD, 0.07% TER, accumulating. Swap SPY/VOO for CSPX or VUAA. Same S&P 500 exposure, same risk. One switch, done. Same assets, no death tax trap. One switch, one structural boundary. That's the entire fix. Keep your wealth borderless or watch it become someone else's revenue. But if the currency you're preserving is melting, you're still losing. Since 1913, the US dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. That's engineered decay of fiat money. One 1913 dollar now requires 33, a silent tax on every bank account, bond, salary. Next time, I'll show you the exact mathematical rate your fiat is bleeding and the single asset class engineered to outpace it. Are you pricing your portfolio in a dying currency?